What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol HOOD for Robinhood, of course, the brokerage. On the left-hand side, we are looking at the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. This is going to be more of an update since we did cover this on Tuesday, and hopefully you took advantage of that breakout over 38, which we mentioned, of course, being the IPO print price. It would have attracted new investors once we crossed above it, and of course, that's what we saw. So hopefully you took advantage of that. If not, let's talk about what you can do going forward here in Robinhood. Let's hope that you did not buy anywhere up in this point of euphoria up around 85. Eesh, not the best entry up there. But going forward, what do we have on the docket here? So starting off on the daily perspective, just talking about the gap that remains in the chart. So anything underneath our $50.43 mark starts to fill the remainder of this gap here down towards that 48.55. And not a whole lot to talk about after that from daily structure. So let's focus our attention over here to this 30-minute time frame chart. Now, to me, we closed pretty weak, seeing an increase in sell volume into the end of the day. You can see these large red-bodied candles coming in. It would make sense to me that we come down and fill the gap. So that's my first sort of initial thought here. Once we fill the gap, then it becomes a question of whether or not we see continuation or a gap fill reversal. So to me, the thing that I would monitor for, like, this isn't really enough meat on the bone to take major risk here with any sort of puts on Hood. But if we come into 48.55 and fill that gap, the question remains, again, do we gap fill reversal or do we continue? So really keep a close eye on 48.55. If we do see the reversal back to the upside, what are prior areas of support that could act as resistance? Well, this is the obvious one that I'm seeing here at $58.25. Just about all of these four touches from in here, as well as these two on Thursday's trading session, it would make sense to me that that would be an area of interest, aka resistance on the way back up. Now, after that, this is the clear shelf that I'm seeing up towards, let's call that 72, no, 71, more like 71. So that would be your next sort of shelf of resistance to the upside. And that's quite a lucrative trade, right? If you take that, that's a lot of deltas here in terms of either going long shares or with something like call options. Now, to the downside, if the gap fills and we see continuation, which again, you're going to have to judge based on what happens if we get to 48.55, then let's talk about some downside levels here that weren't quite mapped out based on this gap up. Let's try to eliminate that. So again, trying to look and focus here, a little bit difficult, but the area that I'm seeing that I would want you to pay attention to is right here at $44.83, simply because it was prior resistance in here, and then it offered some support after that break on the pullback. So that's the area underneath, again, the gap fill. If we just scrunch this up a bit now, you can see if the gap fills and we continue lower, so here's the gap fill, continue lower, that's the area of support that I would really encourage you to watch out for at $45. After that, probably the wick of the initial opening drive higher could be in play close to $40.25. Again, not calling for a full reversal all the way back down there, but use these as signposts to sort of gauge what is going on with the strength of Robinhood. Obviously, a lot of eyes on this, considering this massive move. Let's clear up a huge misconception. This was not a short squeeze, right? Short shares are not essentially available on any newer IPO until 30 days after that IPO release, and underwriters can start to, do their thing and issue shares to short. So it was not a short squeeze. It had everything to do with the options market. So if you learned anything new in this video, found it useful, let me know down below in the comments section or by simply leaving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked down below in the description. And all of that being said, we wish you a green trading week.